Hey, you beautiful human being. It's your girl Icy in the building. We back again with another video. You already know I bring you the freshest video, the freshest content, the freshest everything. And I know I've been gone for a minute. I know. I'm not very consistent, which is the thing I am trying to work this year on. For real. I'm gonna work on it. I promise. I promise. But don't call me on it, but I promise. I swear. Anyways, so today I'm about to get ready to go meet a friend. I am currently still in Russia, for anybody wondering, but I will be traveling soon. I will be traveling to, visit other countries. So yes, your girls are back on travel babes mission. Thank you. Yeah, so that was just our dog, like, telling me, like, girl, you need to get it straight. Sam, rude. Thank you. Anyways, today I wanted to do a little bit more of a serious video because I feel like I always do a little joke videos. Not joke videos, but I do like a little, get ready with me, which will be get ready with me, but also like I wanted to kind of address some of the things, like things that you should expect when coming to Russia and things that you shouldn't expect while coming to Russia, and just things that I have came to learn about Russia while staying here or living here for this couple of months. I'm sorry about my bang because it's really giving the banging, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really giving too much. It just won't stay down for a bit. I don't know why. But yeah, so further ado, let's get with the video, okay? Because I'm on time, like, baby. I need to get ready. My friend is gonna be waiting for me. Like, I'm always late. Doesn't matter if it's in Angola, it's in Europe, it's in, like England, or even in Russia. Like, I am still late, fashionably late. But we're gonna try to make it less late, if that even equals to anything. But anyways, so I feel like the first thing is, obviously, as a black girl, that I have noticed here in Russia, or things that, like, I think I was kind of, had in my brain, that like that everyone really thinks that everyone here everyone here is really like racist, or especially for like me. I'm a black girl, so obviously there's always this stereotype and this conception of like Russia is really racist, and like, obviously I can't speak for everybody's experience, but I have to say this: it's false, baby girl, baby boy, it's false. So like, don't think that everyone here, they're actually really nice. Like, well, for the people that I have met here, everyone was genuinely really nice. And they will judge you based on your skin color or something like that. No, I genuinely have not met anybody that like has looked at me and like, ew, oh, or just like even some subconscious questions that like you would expect, because maybe not everybody is broadened enough to like see black people in the area or something like that, and they'll be like, oh my god, why your skin color is like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have not received those questions at all, so which was a bit of a and everyone is super nice. I have also noticed another thing here, that like, if you pass the person, well, in England we always mind our own business, okay? I need to say and keep going. I've noticed, in England, we mind our own business, while here in Russia, people, like, they do mind their own business at a certain level, but they are more of like, hi, how you doing? Like, how like in England, like, we don't even get to see our neighbors or something like that. Here in Russia, they do get to see their neighbors. Well, at least the place that I'm living, like, you can get to see your neighbor and stuff. And like, we actually greet each other. Like, if you pass somebody by, you can just say, little здравствуйте. I'm actually learning the language as well. So another thing that I wanted to address, or like another thing that I wanted to say, especially like for the black girlies that think, I know I'm putting a freaking concealer first because I didn't think I want to put a foundation. It's too sunny and I don't want my makeup to look too heavy. Like, I'm not about that life anymore. Like only in winter time I'm not about that life. But yeah, another thing I feel like black girls should not expect from Russia, it's like, that was really the most shocking thing for me. Like, yes, Russia is diverse. Actually, it's actually pretty diverse. Like I thought it wasn't gonna be this diverse, but it is pretty diverse. However, like it's not really diverse when it comes to European, if that makes sense. Like it's not as diverse as you think. Like, oh, there's a lot of European here or anything. No, there's not that many Europeans here. There is a lot of like more of their neighboring country, like Kazakhstan, Dagestan. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering the name. Like, please forgive me. Dagestan, all of these other places, like their neighbors. There's like other places as well, you know. Like there's a lot of Asians here that I have noticed, and they might not be actually Asian from China, but there is also, I've noticed there is also a lot of exchange students, but mainly from the East, Eurasia kind of area, exchange students. So don't expect everybody to be like здравствуйте or like hello, like, you know what I'm saying? Some actually don't really speak Russian that well, but some do because of like the union thingy. What is it called again? I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah. The second thing for me, obviously for like as a black girl, what I have noticed, right? It's more of like things that like you expect in Europe, you do not have here, especially now with like Brexit and especially now with like the euro, the sanction happening. It made everything a little bit more harder, a little bit more difficult. And this doesn't just go for black girlies or white girlies, it goes for like the whole everybody else. So this includes every single European, especially girls. If you are coming to Russia or get a chance to come to Russia, because obviously now it's very difficult, I think it's very important to already bring the products that you're gonna use, especially when it comes to like makeup and stuff, because there is makeup here, but it's very hard, especially if you're like a brand person, it's very hard to get like certain brands here. It's really difficult for me. I'm finding it very difficult. Also, it's a little like they are very diverse in terms of food, but not like similar to how diverse of food we are in Europe. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and this is like for my black girlies or white girlies who love like African food, Jamaican food, Caribbean food, like all those, you know, other food. You might find there is Asian food. I have seen like Asian stores here. There is Asian food, but there's like not that many European food. There is this restaurant which is like a combination of East Europe. It's not more like you know, like Turkish similar food, right? But there's not like that much of Europe kind of food here. Not that much as I have seen it. I don't know about maybe other places, but there's not that much. Or I live in St. Petersburg, but there's like not so much. So yeah, but I will say though they do have variety of food here, which can also be great. It just might not be something that you're used to. Do you get it? I'm trying to do that little rainbow like I was doing on the thing. It might not just be like the food that you're always used to. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm just trying to say, like, be more open-minded if you do come here, or if you ever like visit in the future or something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like just be more open-minded of the food that you will see or you will be served here, because obviously it's not the food that you will be served back in England. But I will guarantee this though, it's cheap. Like it's cheap. Like I have noticed, that's another thing that I think I kind of like Russia a little, because here life is very cheap. So what you expect to survive, like I'm sure that the minimum pay to livable pay here, it's like minimum, I presume it's like 200. I heard about it when I first came in, it's like 200. So, and I've been here like what, almost 4 months, so like almost to 5 months. So I know like that's their livable kind of wage, like the minimum kind of wage a person will probably get here. Obviously like a maximum is over, but like some people do manage, I guess. I don't know who actually does manage to live with 200, but I guess there's people that can manage to live with like 200. pounds, which it's not a lot of money, but it is still money, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's really cheap. Life is really cheap here, but don't expect everything to be super cheap. There is places where things are really expensive, and then there is places that like things are not as expensive as you would think. God, I need to be quick. There is places that things are not super expensive, like super expensive. They're very cheap, like very cheap. Also, another thing that I have noticed in here is it's also like taxis, right? Obviously taxis is very popular everywhere, and just like the driving and stuff like that. Yeah, actually, let me get back to it. Now, from every single country that I have been to, yeah, I feel like here, first of all, taxis are way more cheaper. Obviously, maybe because the life here is obviously cheaper, so that is why taxis are really cheap. Like you can go a long distance and still take a taxi, and it's very cheap. Very cheap. Also, another thing that I do want to say, that like taxi drivers here are really nice. Well, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just my experience. I think everybody else's experience is going to be different, but from my experience, taxi driver here, like it's really safe. Is that weird to say? Like Russia, I have noticed Russia is very safe, in a sense of like I got in a taxi like almost 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I think it was like 2 in winter time, mind you, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or so, and I was heading home, right, by myself. I was heading home, mind you. I've been here like what, 2 to 3 weeks, and obviously like I feel like when people can tell that you don't really speak English and stuff like that, like in other places they don't really try, but here they actually try. Like they try to make you very comfortable. Like the taxi driver will put English music on and try his best to speak in English, which I was like, whoa, like wow, you don't need to, sir, just keep driving, but you don't need to. But it's like it's very nice. Like it's very reassuring, you know what I'm saying? It's very reassuring. You don't think about it at the time, because you're like, why is he trying to talk to me? But it's just like he's trying to make you comfortable. That is it. And another thing as well that I noticed, obviously that's a bit different than other places and stuff like that. Like I remember I got on a taxi and it was like rainy and stuff like that, and like the taxi driver took me, like, because I live in a very gated community. Not like gated, but like it's because there's not really like it's pretty much safe in Russia. Like it's pretty much safe. From what I have seen, it's pretty much safe. But I live in a more kind of gated area, which is kind of fancy because of my in-laws, okay? But I will say this though, like obviously to get in the gate, taxis are usually not permitted, but so I will have to like walk a little bit, like a 2 minutes or so. And when I got out of the taxi, the taxi driver just looked at me and kept looking at me so I can get home, and like actually made sure I got home. I was like, wow, okay, that's very unusual. Normally, like in England, once you get a taxi, they're gone. They're like gone. But like the taxi driver made sure that I got in the gate before he proceeded to get in his car. And I was like, oh, that's very nice of him. It's very nice of him. So that was another unusual thing that I kind of noticed here. It's very unusual, obviously for me. The second thing that I feel like it's very unusual, I'm probably not doing this correctly, because I just want to make it like the most simplest makeup ever, because I do not have time. Like I am late, so another unusual thing that I will say is that you obviously don't expect everybody to speak English, but to be honest, like majority of the people here know English. Like they know some certain level of it. They're not very fluent, and then they don't speak every day, but like obviously if you ask directions or anything like that, they're more willing to actually like show you where the place is and stuff like that. Well, in England it's just like, you know what, like mind your business. If you get lost, you get lost. That is a you problem, not a me problem. And this is not for me to look down on England. I just feel like we're very independent. Like in England, where we mind our own business. I do not care about you, you do not care about me, and we're good, we're living fine. You know what I'm saying? Well, here it's like, it's kind of feels like almost like a knitted family. Does that make sense? Or maybe not a knitted family, but like long distance relatives, but they look after you still. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I have noticed a little bit of that happening in Russia. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I just had really a good experience, because when I was in England, all the things that I was hearing about Russia, oh, Russia's a terrible place to live, Russia is this, Russia is that, like it's really, really terrible. It's actually not. And also for the positive things also, I have noticed, like, yes, there is a couple, there's not a lot of black people, okay? There's not a lot of black people, but there is a couple of black people. Like there is black people, there is black students, you know, like that actually live here, study here and stuff like that. And for the girlies, for the guy, for anyone European who like clubbing, there is actually good clubs here too, like that actually play European music, that play have a piano and stuff, but they're more like kind of international club, if you know what I mean. Most of the time there you'll find, like, it's not a lot though, there is a few, but most of the time you'll find like most of the clubs are just like very Russian. So you're gonna have to get with the program at some point somehow. But I will say this though, majority of it is very nice. Like it's very, very nice. Also, on another positive note, well, not positive note, for me, obviously I found it a little bit uncomfortable at first, but it was more of like this stare, right? And I feel like it's just to be expected, because I think it's not just Russian place here, it's more of like everywhere I go, like you get stares. But one thing I have noticed about Russia, which is actually really good, and I kind of like it, kind of hypes me up, it kind of gives me like, oh my god, like you think I'm cute, okay, thank you, thanks. It's like you get compliments everywhere, and that's like, maybe it's just me, but I think it's probably not. I think most foreigners, or most, I don't know, like if, like, listen, if you're pretty or whatever it is, I don't really know if it's just a pretty card or whatever it is, but I will say this, like, compliments rain like water here. Like, well, for me at least, I feel like from my experience, compliments just raining like water. Like I will go anywhere and then it's like, oh my god, you are so beautiful, like literally. Also another thing is, like, you get people sometimes who will come to you and ask you if they can take pictures with you, but obviously that doesn't happen like too often, but it happens often, like probably like 30% of the time you'll get people, like, obviously some people will be a little bit like, I don't think she will say yes, but they'll really come genuinely just to try to get a photo with you and then try to speak English with you. A lot of them will actually come to you and then try to like speak English with you, so in order to also improve their English. So I feel like my main point is, like, just be open-minded. If you are traveling to, I feel, any country really, if you are traveling to any country, obviously at the moment Russia is a bit not restricting, you still can travel here, but I think it's a bit more tight to travel to Russia now. But I will say that, like, if you are traveling here or you're traveling to anywhere else, just be a little bit open-minded, because I think in England we're not very open-minded when it comes to things that we think other people do in their country, and then how they are in their country or how they are in person. I think just because, like, what we see in movies is not actually what we see here. And another thing as well, actually, people said, oh my god, Russia's gonna be super cold. That's another thing that I want to change. I want to actually, like, I want to break this stereotype, like, oh, it's the North Pole. Because when I was there, I was like, when I was in England, I go to anywhere else out here, oh, I'm from Russia, and I'd be like, oh my god, is that like the North Pole? Like, oh my god, isn't it cold in Russia? Like, I think Russia is very known for cold, okay? But I will say this, as a black girl that has been here through winter, okay, I have been here through winter, okay? As a black girl that have been here through winter and did skiing and stuff like that, I would say, yes, it's cold, but it's not like the North Pole. I think they be taking a little bit of the exaggeration a bit too far. It's not as cold as the North Pole. Second, it's not like it doesn't get sunny here. It actually gets way more hotter than England. I actually couldn't believe it. Like, I still can't believe it now. Currently at the moment right now, it's like 21 degrees, and which is messed up because we are still in May. And in England, I don't presume right now it's 21 degrees. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Obviously, oh, no, not 21, 20 degrees. It's 20 degrees right now. Do you see? It's 20 degrees right now. 20 degrees at the moment. While in London, it's only 15 degrees. Like, here, it gets really hot. It even gets to the point where it's like, I heard it gets to 30, 36 or 35 or something like that, like the hottest, or even like up. I'm not sure. I haven't experienced that yet, but I have experienced 28, 27, like, because I came here last year around summertime and stuff, so I have experienced the heat, but I didn't stay for too long because I obviously traveled. But I will say this, like, it does get hot. Like, it does get hot. It's actually pretty hot, more hot than most countries in summertime, and that's not even a lie, which I obviously love. So I think like a lot of people with this like conception about Russia being very cold always, it's actually really false. Like, it's actually really false. And I would say this, in wintertime sometimes it doesn't even get as cold as you guys are talking about, because in other countries it gets just as cold. Like, it's literally just as cold as the other countries. I would say that obviously with the exception here, sometimes it can get to minus 15, minus maybe 16, 19 or something. I think it can get to that, but it doesn't get like super cold. And when it's that as well, like sometimes it rains the next day, so like you won't really see much snow and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's just like any other country in terms of the weather. So this stereotype of, oh, Russia's like the North Pole or something, it's not. It's just the same as other countries. And also this stereotype that, oh, Russian people are very angry people, or like not angry people, but like very not super nice people. It's false. It's actually, this one is actually false, because there's a lot of people that are really nice here. Like they're super nice. And I feel like sometimes, like, I even feel out of place because I'm like, why are they so nice? Like, what the hell? Like, what did I do? Like, did I do something? Like, did I, take something? Like, what's going on? Like, why are they super nice? But they're so nice. Like, maybe they're nice to, like, obviously foreigners, but they're actually very nice and very welcoming. Like, I had a situation where, like, a Russian person was like, oh, welcome to Russia. Like, actually, no situation. I have this all the time. Where a Russian person's like, welcome to Russia, welcome to Russia, welcome to Russia. I'm like, thanks, that's so nice of you. Like, thanks. Really, like, it's very nice of you. Like, I wouldn't expect it. In England, people would be like, go back to your country, bruv. But no, in Russia's like, welcome to Russia, I hope you like Russia, and if there's any place that you want to go, let us know, we can take you there and stuff. Like, people are genuinely really nice. Like, well, anyways, from my experience at least, like, they are genuinely really down to earth, really nice. I haven't seen or had experience which I absolutely hated. I do wanna like break one little stereotype that I feel like a lot of people have, okay? And this is a stereotype that I also had, that all Russian people are rich. Yeah, false, okay? False. Or like majority of Russian people are rich. False, all right? I feel like they're just pretty much as everybody else, every single country. There's rich people, there's poor people, and there's not that rich people. Like, you will actually be surprised. And like, all the East European guys will like pay for you, or don't expect that. Because I have also found out like a lot of people here and a lot of guys here, or whatever it is, like, obviously I don't go on me guys or anything like that. Yes, some of the guys here are very much like, no, a woman shouldn't pay. But there's a lot of guys that are also here that are like, no, we're gonna do 50-50. Do you get it? Like, we're gonna do 50-50. Like, it's kind of like similar to like Europe. Like, you find guys that are like really like, no, women shouldn't pay and stuff like that, and then you find like the ones that like, no, it's like a 50-50 type of thing. Like, we're gonna go on date and we're gonna do a 50-50. Like, there's not just such thing as like just me paying. Like, we're gonna do 50-50, which I honestly do not understand, and I would never understand. I don't want to understand, because, well, I would never understand. I'm married, so thank you. My husband pays for everything. But I did notice this. So if you're expecting a little sugar daddy or a sugar whoever, or not even a sugar daddy, but like, oh, you're expecting like a little, fantasy going on here, and expecting like everybody to have you and paying for you and stuff like that, which will happen, to be honest, because I have no actually experienced no one that hasn't paid for me. But like, I don't go out and ask for people to pay for me, so that's another thing that's like, no. But yeah, it's weird. Don't do that. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all of it. I really need to go because I'm already 27 minutes moving this, and I need to like go. I need to go. So with further ado, really, that's all I wanted to like kind of get into it and just let you guys know like things that I have noticed, things that you should expect, things that you shouldn't expect, and things that like it's true and things that are not true. Because listen, I feel like a lot of places, a lot of countries exaggerate, and there's no need to exaggerate in terms of like what you think about Russia. I think it's very important, or for me, I think it's very important for you to come and get your own experience of Russia, or like for you to go and get your own experience of like the country before you actually make the decision and say like, okay, cool, like I agree with the stereotype, or I agree with the, like what not. So yeah, no, don't be those type of people, okay? Like I think you should come to a country with very much open mind and expect the best. And if you do get a worse experience, at least you learned, and you know like, okay, maybe this is not a country for me because there's a lot of things that like just doesn't match with what I believe in or what I need or what it is that I want, you know what I'm saying? So you can just move on, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to like do a little disclaimer about it, because I feel like there's a lot of things, like it's a lot of things that just goes around, and unless you experience it yourself, it's just you know, you wouldn't know. And it's really like Russia's very a vast land. It's a very, I feel like, rich land too, because there's a lot to do here. So don't let anybody tell you like there's not a lot to do here. Yes, of course the language is hard. Everything can be a little bit hard because obviously the language is the main thing that you need to learn, and that is hard because I'm learning it. It's very hard. Don't let nobody lie to you. It's hard, but it's also really like a thing where it's like you can take time to learn. If you really want to learn, you can take time to learn. If you don't want to learn, and that's okay as well. Do you get it? So yeah.